the size of that mine entrance? Amazing, isn't it?
You mean the one behind that huge deactivated arc?
That's the one. Given the size of the entrance, I can only imagine how huge the mine must have been. Their yields must have been incredible.
I've heard the rich resources are a big part of why Weavers first settled this area.
The land's hostile, but they knew it was worth the risk. Ores from the Enclave are high grade, very pure. I knew we'd recover. We always do. Still feels nice to have my core tools back this quickly.
Still a long way to go, but we'll get there.
Speaking of, I've something for you. We've been scavenging around the way station and reclaimed a fair amount of useful materials. They're stored away and ready for you. Should be enough to reforge your sword as we discussed.
Can you also reforge armor? Improve my bow?
Sure can. Weapons or armor, we can rework them with different materials as you prefer.
What's the key difference between reforging my gear and just making something new?
If you want gear that does something fundamentally different, make something new. For instance, there are fabrics, metals, leathers, and so on that are highly resistant to heat. A suit of armor made of a combination of those would have been incredible against the Drake you faced in the Veil's shadow. If you don't need something additional, and just want to improve what you already have, that's when you reforge. Keeps the clutter down in the caravan.
What should I expect from a reforged sword?
It depends on the materials we use. Some hold edge better, making your swipes that much more deadly. Others make your gear lighter, or, for something like armor, change the way it handles heat and cold.
Sounds like it's time to make something that can punch through arc armor.
That's the spirit. Try to bring this back in one piece. Take them out from a distance, and they'll never know you were there. There you go. Not just good as new, better.
Now that I can cut the carapace free, what's next?
Whenever the band is collaborating on a problem, I'm often the one to create the design, and you'll put it together with me. At least, normally, they're my designs. Sev actually came up with this one. With carapace and enough metal, I can forge his patch for the leaking conduit.
Any particular metal required?
No, just enough of the same type. Sev and I try to keep our designs flexible, to work with whatever we've got in the caravan. Once you have everything we need, we'll forge the patch here.
you're coming up on the Ark of the Stricken Earth. With a stronger sword, hopefully the carapace will come off easy.
This might take a while.
You'll need to swing harder to cut through armor that thick.
What's happening?
Retrieving the carapace is going to be trickier than we thought.
Is she really ready to fight that thing?
Catch your breath. When you're ready, you can climb the Ark to attack it from different angles. Those discs, those are holding the armor in place. Those discs, those are holding the armor in place. Those discs, those are holding the armor in place. That's it! Hit the exposed skin with everything you've got. breathing through that patch of skin anymore. Move on.
was worried we might lose our chance to get the carapace, but you secured it.
Any concerns about using the Archon strand, Dom?
Concerns? None. Excitement? Considerable. We should be able to weave that strand into your mantle, Brynn.
All right. With kinetic magic, I should be able to clear the base of the loom gate. All done.
Nice work, Brynn. We should have enough space to work on fixing that pipe now.
Two wonders of enchanting, an arc and loom gates. We can touch them, smell them if we want. And they don't work. Maddening.
Did you?
Did I what?
Smell the loom gate.
A little, but that's beside the point. But mossy, hints of sage, a subtle yet full-bodied undertone of dirt.
Amazing. Well, now we just need to get it working.
Oh yes, should our plan succeed.
And if not?
Then it is time for Plan B, which I have not yet thought up, but I'm sure we won't need. They are quite the thing, aren't they? Tangles, I mean.
After what it was like outside the Enclave, the ones in here are child's play.
It is an enduring mystery as to why the Veil's shadow is flooded with them. I did not expect that they would be so common inside the Enclave.
Are they common anywhere?
No. They were theoretical until the Veil went up. And then, of course, they became... political.
What exactly are tangles?
To our best understanding, magic is more than just energy. As far as we know, raw magic is a physical substance, but normally invisible. Our mantles gather it from the air as we move, but tangles prove it can concentrate on its own.
What did you mean by political?
The surge was specifically catastrophic towards enchanted equipment. Explosions, out-of-control activations, you name it. And tell me, logically, who were the most likely people to have enchanted items on or around them?
The rich and powerful?
Well done. So, in a single moment, you have what seem to be hundreds of assassinations.
And decades of war followed.
As I said, political.
You said they were theoretical. What did you mean?
Lane and I have been digging. The only research on tangles we could find were thought experiments until the Veil's appearance. As you might expect, that research was done here in the Enclave. Apparently, they did not publish everything they knew.
Thanks, Dom. That helps me understand them better.
Ultimately, the most practical advice I can give is very simple. Don't stand in the murder cloud. Color me delighted that we're starting to restore our capabilities around the camp. When the time comes, I'll work with Casmin to create some new tools here.
Then we can start weaving more intricate strands into my mantle, right?
Yes. You harvest, I'll weave, and we'll have you channeling such magics.
Perfect.
You think this patch will fix the leaking pipe?
Yes. And with the debris cleared, why don't you tell Arya we've got everything we need to fix the loom gate?
Me?
Acting or otherwise, major communication should come from the point.
I'll keep that in mind.
Classic design here. Good balance of protection and mobility. This one strikes a good balance. well pleased with the reforge. There's another option too. We can enhance your gear.
Not the same thing?
No. Enhancing uses more of the same materials from the original construction. I use them to add a bit more protection to your armor, reinforce your blades and such. Worth doing if you have extra materials. I'll be able to do more as we build my smithy's set of tools back up.
Kaz, what you said about the point roll not being for you. Lane said the training was going well, and then one day, it just stopped. Can I ask why?
Honestly, it was just too much for me. The responsibility that comes with being point. I guess I caved under pressure. Leaping headfirst into danger isn't for everyone. What made you decide to become a point?
Neither of my parents were weavers, but my dad would tell me stories about the Enclave as a child.
You became a point because of a bedtime story.
What can I say? Magic gripped me at a young age and never let go. Now that I'm a point, the possibilities are endless.
And has being point given you what you're looking for?
So far, yeah.
Good. For a long time, I felt like I let Aurea down. She wanted me to continue with the training, but I just couldn't. When she offered to keep me on as a quartermaster, I was surprised. In time, it made sense, though. I always enjoyed the planning of my expeditions, more than the expeditions themselves.
So you've been happier as a quartermaster?
Yes. This is much more my speed. Besides, someone needs to hang out with Arva. Seriously. I'm more than happy to leave the creature wrangling to you.
I'm not sure I have what it takes to pack a caravan anyway.
I've seen how messy your tent is. You most definitely do not.
Brynn, one would think you've been fighting massive constructs your entire life.
It's a newer hobby I've picked up. On account of only having seen one for the first time recently.
Yes, it's quite something to see a massive archon after studying their role in history for so long.
You seem a little concerned about something.
Oh, no. That arcs are still functioning in the Enclave is a revelatory discovery. I'm elated, of course.
Very convincing.
It's just... this Archon brings up more questions than it answers. For starters, arcs of this variety tended to carry a slate bar to help break rocks. It was clearly working in the nearby mine. One must wonder whether its tool was lost in a cave-in. It's hard to say, really. Another mystery, there's no record of Archon hostility towards Weavers. Did they turn on their creators after the Surge?
Is this just about the arcs?
It's about everything. I suspect we're chasing dead ends. None of these leads fill me with any sort of confidence.
It's easy to get overwhelmed by the details. The Enclave is a complete mystery. And the reality is, we won't uncover all of it. There's only so much we can do. But that doesn't stop us from making incredible discoveries within those limitations.
Incredible discoveries within our limitations. I hadn't thought of it that way. It is strangely comforting to acknowledge that there are limits to what we can achieve.
All we can do is put one foot in front of the other. If we're ever going to solve this puzzle, it will only happen piece by piece.
You're right about that. More pieces would help, though. Maybe if you track down other arcs, we might start to understand what's going on with them.
More information about anything trying to kill me is probably a good thing. Though it does mean getting close to the things trying to kill me, which is less good.
Yes, do try not to die in the process, as that would render the information less useful. I couldn't help overhear Dar mentioning the Surge's impact on the politics of our lands.
You really do pay attention to what happens around here, don't you?
A survival instinct. Growing up in Udea, you realize the walls have ears. If some of those ears aren't yours, you're at a disadvantage. That was actually the problem, you see?
The problem?
After the Surge cascaded through the Maida, every kind of long-range magical communication broke down. So you have magical chaos and no way to confirm if your nation is under attack. You assume the worst and retaliate. Udea, my homeland, was hit hard. Our trade fleets had become rather dependent on magical navigation.
And they couldn't find their way home.
Or at least to a safe harbor. You could argue the loss of our fleets was worse than any individual war.
Because the trade network suddenly collapsed. My parents used to talk about shortages during those years. It got rough, they said.
Yes. And the worst wars are fought over resources when people are desperate. I very much hope we can find the true cause of all that suffering. And a way out to share it with the rest of the world after we do.
Solar, this plan to repurpose carapace to fix the loom gate's conduit?
The patch is ready, and I've cleared the debris at the loom gate in Glintwood Hollow.
Excellent work, Brynn. Time for you to take a well-earned rest while the band heads into the hollow.
You sure you don't need me to come?
We've got this. And you need the break.
All right, if you say so. Aurea, how's it going?
Brynn, you're awake. We're making progress over here. Careful with that.
Hey, no one came back to camp, did they? Is the rest of the band still with you?
We're all here. And the leak is just about fixed.
Hey, wait, I just want to talk. That was incredible.
Hey, couldn't have done it without you.
Actually, we couldn't have done it without Sev. I didn't expect you to have such a deft hand with magical conduits.
I'm not... I mean... We just got lucky it held.
Not to distract from the victory, but something happened while you were gone. I saw something. Well, someone.
A Hearthsider?
Maybe. The figure was masked and standing at the edge of the camp. I think they were watching me. Before they disappeared.
How friendly.
If there are people still left in the Enclave, we need to find them. They can tell us what happened here.
Yes. I was just thinking we should chase down the scary masked figure that likes to watch Brynn sleep.
Since we arrived, we've been speculating about what may have happened after the surge. But no one here knows the truth. Only Hearthsiders could tell us that. I think the truth is worth the risk that they may be hostile.
You're right. We won't find answers standing here.
Friendly or hostile, if there are Hearthsiders, we need to find them.
Agreed.
And the good news is, fixing the loom gate didn't just give us easier access to Glintwood, it expanded our scry's reach.
So scries are somehow connected to the Enclave's tapestry?
Every scry was built here.
This means you not only have access to the loom gate, but you can safely explore further.
Incidentally, our maps indicate that there is a village beyond the hollow in a large swathe of wetlands known as Dredger's Mire.
Perhaps we'll find our Hearthsider there. Brynn, why don't you brief with Lane before your next expedition?
Sounds good.
After that, It's time to use the loom gate.
Why didn't you guys return using it yourselves?
We needed to take a key swatch back to camp in order to connect the two. We'll make sure you have a key swatch to connect any other loom gates to this one from now on.
This may sound fairly ridiculous, but the real draw of alchemy for me is how it grants me the ability to help people.
Oh?
Yes. I enjoy my little experiments, I'll admit. I enjoy synthesizing new and wonderful compounds. But mixing an unguent for the urchin girl by the canal with the flea bites on her legs? That was, I felt, a rather more responsible use of my allowance. Of course, the house would have looked down on that. The instruction not to mix with lower classes was implicit, but clear nonetheless. I even used alchemy to disguise myself so I wouldn't be recognized. I wore my hair in a stark white for a time, if you can imagine it.
Did you look silly?
Striking is the word I would use. My patients didn't mention it, and my apothecaries knew better than to make fun of their best customer. Alchemy is the science of change, and while I am happy to explore those changes both within and without myself, well, I think my natural colour suits me fine for now.
Might change your mind. You never know.
Exactly. Here to brief?
I like to know everything I can before venturing off to a new place.
Just beyond the forested hills of Glintwood Hollow lies the wetlands known as Dredger's Mire. Much like the Hollow, the Enclave prospected many of the raw materials needed for its ambitious constructs and projects from the mire. Oh, it's no coincidence you found the Ark of the Stricken Earth near a collapsed mine. Likely, it was used for the excavation of minerals and metals before the surge. I believe the natural surroundings of the mire were also rich in resources. The Enclave even settled a small village there known as Poldervale.
Which is where I might find that masked figure that was watching me.
It's possible. Regardless, do you have any questions before you head out?
What can you tell me about Poldervale? It seems like it was settled pretty far from their capital.
Indeed. Though, when you take instantaneous travel through loom gates into account, what constitutes a remote village changes. The village was likely settled to facilitate the prospecting of raw materials in the outskirts. Resources farmed here could easily be transported across the Enclave through the use of loom gates.
Apart from the village, it sounds like this is mostly untamed lands. Any expectation that it will be more dangerous than the Hollow?
I would expect so, yes. We've made camp in a way station that's pretty far from Denevron, and the mire yet even more remote. Everything I've read says the deeper into the outskirts of the Enclave one ventures, the more wild and untamed the lands become.
You're saying my battle with the Great Ark might be looking like child's play soon?
Possibly?
Some of the others didn't seem so sure we should be trying to track down the masked figure. What do you think?
History demands we find them. If the masked figure truly is a Hearthsider, their stories and what they've lived through in here would be invaluable to our understanding of the Enclave and of the Surge.
Sounds like I'd better find them then. Thanks for the info, Lane. I think I'm ready to head out.
My pleasure. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. I didn't have the biggest role to play in the loom gate's repair. I'm not exactly handy with a hammer. But watching the band work gave me an idea for a new alchemical project. Its working name is a loom shard.
A loom shard?
Yes, it's a shard that could draw magic from a loom gate and bring you back to camp safely, wherever you are.
How is this different from Aurea pulling me back with the scry?
Unaided, Aurea can only summon enough magic to bring you back safely, not all the valuables you might have collected on your expedition. Because this shard draws magic from the tapestry, it can bring you back safely with all you've gathered.
Thanks, Lane.
Ready?
Let's do this.
First trip through the Loom Gate is a success.
Hopefully more trips to come. To new and exciting places.
Sodom Pass. A fitting name for the road to the wetlands.
According to the maps, you're getting close to Dredger's Mire.
Designed for a two-hander. Looks like it was being packed up to ship.
It'll be exciting to work off an Enclave design firsthand.
I know you're excited to explore, but first things first. Use our key swatch with a loom gate in the mire, so that it's easy to return.
Right. I'll check the maps.
Perfect. I can see the connection. We'll be able to come back whenever we'd like.
Without having to trek through all the mud.
The beauty of instantaneous travel. Keys watches are an ingenious system for connecting loom gates together.
This is colder though. What happened? The village is completely frozen.
This can't be natural.
I think it's safe to say no one lives here. Where else could I look for a hard-cider?
I can't quite remember why, but something tells me you should search for a watchtower. The maps indicate there may be some nearby.
Doubt security would be active if the village was vacated.
Just trust me on this. I've got some cross-referencing to do.
All right, Brynn. You heard them.
Watchtower. Got it. Just like home. You're round a corner and a glacier's right there to greet you. I must be trained.
This one doesn't seem as aggressive. Must not be rutting.
Should leave you alone unless you get close.
There's a watchtower ahead.
Found the term I was looking for. It mentioned that these watches were held by security in the Enclave's more remote villages. It ensured their loom gates could be reconnected to central locations if needed. Perhaps our Hardsider won't be in the watchtower, but a key spot to Denevran could be.
Genius, Lane. Nice work. The Archon expands. Pre-surge, the Arcs trod this passage daily to transport and farm resources from the outskirts.
Flame strand. Always do with a little heat.
According to this logbook, all the key swatches were removed from the Poldervale Watch a few years after the surge.
Strange.
But there was one key swatch that was borrowed and never returned by the mayor at his residence in Poldervale. Perhaps it's still there. It'll be tough for me to withstand the cold long enough to search for it.
The rest of the band could help you navigate that? Try discussing the challenge with a few of them next time you're at camp.
I hope I'm not prying by bringing this up, but Dharm and Arya told me about your last band.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like it was pretty rough.
It wasn't great, that's for sure. I mean, I gave up everything I knew to become a weaver. And it only took a couple of weeks for me to realize I had chased the wrong caravan out of town. All that band did was drink and fight. I stuck around, thinking I might be able to make a difference if I became point, but Aaron chose someone else to take his place in the end.
You're in better hands now. I promise. Even though I'm sure your last few days with us have been a lot. Do you have any regrets about leaving?
I did have one friend in the band. Pelagia. She was their enchantress. She was actually the one who convinced Aaron to let me join them. Due to the nature of my departure, I wasn't able to say goodbye. I thought I would send her a letter the next time we stopped in a town.
Then we tumbled through the veil.
Yeah. I don't know what she must think of me.
If she's a true friend, she'll understand.
I hope so. Friends like her are rare.
That's what makes them special. You know there's a trick to picking your armor when dealing with temperature?
Do tell.
If you're going to be up against extreme cold or heat, lighter armors can be the better choice. They can't provide raw protection like steel, but metals also move temperature very quickly. Lighter armors layer cloth and leathers. Much better for insulation, especially if you pick the right ones.
I'll keep that in mind. This place pulls no punches.
I think you and I are the only ones here who can swing one of these. Oh, and Sev. Take them out from a distance. And they'll never know you were there. Sword and board. good balance of protection and mobility. Take them out from a distance, and they'll never know you were there.
My darling, I suspect the way the light filters through the Enclave's veil makes you look more luminous than ever.
Stop. It'll go to my head.
Should I come back later? I didn't mean to interrupt you two.
Sorry, Brynn. Sometimes we get lost in our little world.
But since you're here, I was actually hoping to speak with both you and Sola.
Oh?
I don't know if you know this, but my wife is an extremely talented smith who was apprenticed under a variety of world-class teachers.
Well, a revolving door of mentors doesn't exactly facilitate the most stable education, especially when one of them drops dead in front of you.
Oh, details. You've made more of your varied experience than most could glean from a lifetime. Anyway, I know you always hoped to further your education with the Tarmakine Smithing School's techniques. So, I asked Lane to look into whether or not any Tarmakine smithing was ever practiced here in the Enclave.
Oh, doll. You shouldn't have. It's sweet, but there are other priorities.
What could be more pressing than helping my wife fulfill her lifelong dreams? As luck would have it, there were Tarmakine smiths here before the search.
Really?
Perhaps our daring point might be able to keep a lookout for anything those smiths might have left behind?
I mean, if it's too much trouble.
Of course. I'd be happy to help.
Perfect. I'll leave you to discuss the details.
Anything in particular I should look for?
The Tarmakine smithing techniques are exceptionally complex, and as such, pretty rare across the Maida. It might be too much to hope for anything close to a completed armor set, but prototypes or even notes pertaining to the style would be useful. I'd take anything you can find.
Got it. I'll keep an eye out.
Thanks, Brynn.
Sola, any thoughts on how I might go about withstanding cold temperatures while I search for the key swatch?
With the right materials, any design for armor could give you some resistance to frost magic and cold temperatures.
What kind of materials could I bring you?
A Kala hide would do the trick for one.
There are plenty of those prowling in the outskirts. Thanks for the insight.
harvesting. Such an intriguing term for so critical a task.
Why do we call it that anyway?
My favorite explanation is that it implies a thoughtfulness. When we harvest a creature, we pull something out of its essence. It is, fundamentally, a violent act. But we harvest predators, ones that pose a threat to us. There are peaceful or merely territorial creatures that use magic, but Weaver custom is to never harvest them.
That makes sense. I like that we're selective about it.
Further, Weavers do not seek to eradicate these creatures, merely keep them in check. Slaughter them all and we not only lose access to more strands, but also risk disrupting the ecosystem. You've heard of Renland's famed attempt to cull their Akala population and the mass loss of crops due to too many deer, yes? Same thing. Even something as wild as an Ash Peak drake plays a role in the world. Oh, it's very exciting to see one of the Enclave's enchanted weapon designs firsthand. I'm sure Sola will have a field day with it.
I don't need any particularly magical materials for it, I notice.
No, that's where I come in. I preserve numerous byproducts alongside each resonance as part of the weaving process. I have got, in the literal and figurative sense, your back. So, we're hunting a rogue key swatch in a frozen village. When dealing with temperature, your magic can directly counteract it.
I'm guessing we fight frost with flame?
Just so. Like building a fire on a cold night, except much faster. And the night has teeth and talons.
Good thing we've woven some flame into my mantle then.
Yes. Conserve your energy and engage carefully. If you can set objects alight, the heat from their combustion will help as well.
So long as that doesn't turn into a wildfire.
That, my friend, is why I said to engage carefully.
Lane, any thoughts on why the mayor of Poldervale kept a key swatch to Denevron in his home?
Not personally, but I do know what the Poldervale Watch suspected about it.
Really? How?
At the back of the logbook, those on watch would leave small notes for whoever was taking over the next shift. Most of it appears to be idle gossip, but apparently popular belief was that the mayor had a mistress on the side.
Ah, a wife in Poldervale and a mistress in Denevron.
Instantaneous travel would be necessary to not get caught.
Goodness. Small towns are the same everywhere, aren't they?
What is there to do in them but talk?
Hey, Lane. Got any ideas on how I might go about retrieving a key swatch from a frozen village?
I imagine long underwear might help.
Maybe an alchemical solution?
I'm teasing, of course. Drinking a frost shroud phial would do the trick. It makes cold temperatures much easier to withstand. I have some phials already prepared for you. I had the perfect alembic for them thanks to our recent improvements.
Solar would know. Metal plates with detailed engraving. I wonder if Sola might be interested in these. I think I found a prototype that goes with the helm schematic I gave you.
Yes. These markings in the metal are vents, a signature of the Tarmakine style.
Could we forge the helm now?
Maybe. Give me a sec. Worse than materials, I'd say.
The Tarmakind helm is beautiful, Solar. Can't wait to test it out on an expedition.
I am honestly kind of proud of myself right now. I wasn't totally sure I was going to be able to do that. Like I said, this style is a lost art. I know it's just a small piece, but I'm feeling on top of the world right now.
As you should. This is pretty cool.
Before my mentor, Hilda, passed away, and my apprenticeship was cut short, I always saw myself opening up my own smithing school. Specifically to pass on the Tarmakind techniques and prevent them from being lost for good. Feels like another lifetime now. Obviously that dream died with Hilda. It's been like 10 or 15 years since I've even thought of that.
Hey, if it means new gear, I'll keep tracking down schematics for you. Whatever you decide to do with all the Tarmakind knowledge you acquire.
Wow, that would be amazing. Maybe there's a chance we could restore the techniques after all.
You can do anything you set your mind to, Solar.
You're right. I'm pretty awesome like that.
That's the spirit.
This has all given me a lot to think about. lot of memories come rushing back when I think about Tarmakind.
Good or bad ones?
Both. I remember the smells. We used very specific woods for the fires when we were alloying. Precise heats and times and sounds. The guiding tap my mentor would do before every hammer strike. Here. Slower. Faster. Breathe with me. No, foolish girl. Again.
Sounds a little relentless.
No more than the combat drills you and Oreo have done. It's all practice. Making your muscles carve a groove so deep the action is automatic, so that your mind is free to focus on the intent.
You miss it?
Not all. I miss the stability of a school. Knowing where your tools are, always. And I miss that crusty old battle axe of a mentor. I had so much to learn from her. Still, maybe this is my chance. Pick up where I left off. We'll see. Oh, good. I caught you both.
We are thoroughly caught, love.
I can't stop thinking about the Tarmakind helm we forged, Brynn. I'd written off my early training as a lost cause, but you've sparked my hope.
We'll search high and low, Solar.
To think of it. Traveling the world, sharing knowledge of a lost style of armorcraft.
Yes. I suppose. Oh, I just need to tend to the forge before it cools. Excuse me.
Always so diligent about her forge.
I don't think that was about her forge, Dom.
Oh?
I'm not sure what, but something's bothering her. Just a word to the wise.
Brynn, you are a very good friend. And I know exactly what will lift her spirits. I have taken advantage of some of your previous work. You know that great Ash Peak drake you harvested?
Hard to forget all the flapping.
Invigorating, isn't it? How to push your own magic into the pattern of a foe, making it so real you can harvest a strand for your mantle. Brutal in a way, but majestic in another. Oh, but I digress. I've prepared a gift for my lady wife, and I had hoped you would do me the favor of delivering it.
You don't want to do it yourself?
I'm not the one who felled the drake. It only seems fitting.
I'm happy to help then. You got everything you needed from the strand, Tom?
Absolutely. All part of the preparation. What I needed was just a byproduct. Nothing to prevent us weaving that strand into your mantle. Now, when you have the time, if you would do me the honor and please be the bearer of my surprise for her.
She is 10 steps or so away. It'll be rough, but I can handle it.
Hi. Something you need?
I'm here as a courier for the moment. Darm's made you something, and he's asked if I would present it.
I did indeed, but cannot resist being here for the unveiling.
It's beautiful. When did you have time to make a planishing hammer of all things?
Oh, I wouldn't know where to begin, love. But I did see you eyeing one several moons ago when we passed through Udea. I bought it quietly, and have been hoping to enchant it for some time. Our point was happy to oblige me with the materials needed.
That's really thoughtful. What kind of enchantment?
It applies a small spike of heat with each strike to smooth out the process, as it were. I've even wondered if something like cinder linen could catalyze higher heats, so each hammer in your collection could spike to exacting levels. The possibilities are endless. And lightweight. Keep your smithy even more portable.
Yes. Yeah, well, it's lovely, but I don't know if we'll need a whole set of them. It must be challenging to make.
If it makes life on the road easier for you, it's worth the effort.
Well, maybe. We don't need to be on the road all the time.
But that's a weaver's life.
Not in the Enclave. Look, it's an absolutely lovely hammer, and I cannot wait to try it out. Brynn, look forward to the smoothest armor.
Yes, well, very good. I have some things I should sort out.
Brynn, do you have a moment?
For my favorite lawkeeper? Absolutely.
I'm the only lawkeeper here, though.
Yes. Doesn't mean you aren't my favorite. So, what do you need?
What was it? Oh, yes. I'm looking to do some experiments with alchemical reagents, and was wondering if you could source me some.
That sounds like something I could help with. What's the experiment?
I won't waste your time with specifics. I just think it'll produce something helpful, if my hypothesis is correct.
Well, my last lawkeeper sent me out all the time for herbs that he'd inevitably just stuff in a pipe and smoke.
Oh. No, that makes sense, then. Oh, yeah, yes. Sorry. I think I can help Oria with the Watcher's Wisp.
Oh. After what happened in the Veil's Shadow, any improvement to the scry is worth making.
Exactly. I noticed that she needs a break before guiding you again. The tangles were so bad in the shadow, she couldn't use the wisp at all.
The scry has been better inside the Enclave. But we shouldn't take any chances. What do you need?
There's a plant that only grows here in the Enclave. It expresses a clarifying magical essence. I think I can use it to strengthen Oria's connection with the scry.
That'd be really helpful.
I think so too. Now, am I missing something?
Where can I find the plant?
Oh, right. At night, in the outskirts. They glow, so you won't be able to identify them during the daytime. And I believe they mostly grow in clusters near bodies of water. Not rivers, but ponds, lakes, you know.
Go to the outskirts at night and grab some glowing plants near bodies of water. Got it.
Well, they have a more accurate name than that. I won't overcomplicate it. But they're referred to locally as Diane's Chorus, which refers to a moment in the Enclave's history early on when their second leader, Diane Ramenos, was elected by unanimous vote. She was the right person at the right time for the Enclave and brokered several extremely lucrative trade deals.
The more you talk, the longer you'll wait.
Sorry, yes, please, go. Bring them to me as soon as you can. Thank you. One moment, Brynn. I just need to write this down. Stir twice clockwise, filter the sediment, put it aside for Darm's moisturizing cream. Good. Now, did I forget something when last we spoke? I was after some ingredients to enhance the Watcher's Wisp. Is that correct? I know it hasn't been long, but...
Don't worry. No problems there. I know we chatted before, but I wanted to learn more about you.
Well, I came from Judea. You already know that. I'm an enthusiastic student of the alchemical arts. Oh, there's more to my family. I'm my father's third child, but I have 3 siblings. I was fairly close to 2 of them. The firstborn is 12 years older than me and never had much interest in being friends.
Was that hard on you?
It was normal to be in that situation, I'd say. By the time I was old enough to hold a conversation, he was already playing the political game. Took after my mother in that regard. Hold on, I need to write something down. To do. Investigate why Sola keeps borrowing moisturizing cream from Dom instead of coming to me to get her own.
Big list of tasks you've got there.
Like you wouldn't believe.
I've never been to you, dear. Can you tell me more about what it was like to grow up there?
Brynn, respectfully, I like to think I'm an open book, but as I said, I have quite a big list of tasks to complete. You do, too. Let's try and make a dent, shall we?
Of course. Catch you later.
Shouldn't we be trying to find a way out of here?
Focus on one thing at a time. That's all we can do.
What is there to focus on except that?
So, now that I'm done being frigid and unwelcoming.
You were only lukewarm.
Sure. How about an icebreaker? To get to know each other better.
Sounds fun. What have you got?
Simple. If you were a wild animal, what would you be?
Ooh. I think I'd be in a color.
Why is that?
Aggressive, but they hunt in packs with close bonds. I love adventuring, but a kick-ass team is what makes it meaningful.
Huh. I like that.
And yourself? What animal would you be?
An eastern reef crake.
A crake? Somehow I pictured fewer tentacles and destroyed ships in your wake.
You're thinking of the big ones. An eastern reef crake is pretty small and harmless. But all crakes are misunderstood. They are incredibly intelligent creatures. And they diligently protect their eggs. They actually only attack when their nest is under threat. So yeah, I'd be a crake. Happily living underwater.
Skies. Why is it so hot?
This can't be natural.
This is exactly what happened to Taza after the surge when all the aeroliths failed. It must be something like that.
Strand from that kill.
No, too weak. The only way to strengthen the power is through active harvest. A hallowed pyre shrine all the way out here.
Diane's core is collected. All of the chaos is nice.
Got the key swatch. And unfettered access to the Enclave's capital.
Amazing, Brynn.
Denevron awaits.
Impressive, Brynn. We're on our way to Denevron. Thanks to you.
Everyone helped. I just did my part.
In a well-run band, everything takes teamwork, that's for sure. But don't downplay your role in this. Since you've been crisis promoted to point, we've felled a great arc, restored a construct, and now we've got access to the Enclave's capital. Not everyone could accomplish what you have, let alone in our current circumstances. In fact, most would crumble under the pressure.
Don't get me wrong, I know I'm doing good here. But honestly, having just left a band that fought and backstabbed one another, I really appreciate the level of teamwork that went into this. The others are lifting me up, and I don't take that for granted.
That's good to hear. I know they're as impressed with you as I am.
Thanks, Aurea.
Now, enough talk. You've got a city to explore.
the Oria's wing.
Glowing plants acquired and delivered. How are things on your end?
Oh, I'd almost forgotten about these. Thankfully, the alchemic preparation is, well, prepared. Let me find it. Here it is. All I need to do is extract the clarifying essence, and that should do it.
It's wonderful to watch a genius at work. So, when can I go test this out?
I was hoping you'd ask. I need some more ingredients. More of the luminous plants, for one, and some ink-cap mushrooms, if you wouldn't mind.
What are you cooking up now?
More Diane's chorus means I can mix up plenty of this solution for Aurea. Ink caps? Well, that's a secret for now.
I'll allow it. I'll be back once I've grabbed everything on your sundry list.
The great market of the outdoors. Huh. I hope you're able to find some good bargains.
I always do.